in the middle of the city is very, very complicated. There's only so much expansion you can do on existing byways and existing, capacity, right? So it's a very complicated process that I think, it will continue to be top of mind for any data center provider out there in terms of how they look at this, really all of our customers too. So I think it's just super important to plan far enough in advance to think about your needs as they continue to grow and diversify in terms of CPU versus GPU and where the data is, and just making sure that you're having those conversations is pretty critical.
Let me flip that to the other side then for the cooling aspect of it, right? So the demand and the supply obviously would just impact, the entire data center operator market, right? We all have those challenges, and we're all going to work, cooperatively towards, building out our fleets to address it. But how are we specifically within the Flexential fleet then looking at like liquid cooling or direct-to-chip or immersion cooling technology, stuff that's going to like kind of keep up with this additional kW draw per rack?
Yeah, great question. It's interesting just, in the conversations I've had with some of our partners is like the worst thing you'd want to do is to go spend $50 million on the latest and greatest NVIDIA reference architecture and have to throttle it.
Right.
And so, that is a critical question that, so I guess to answer it, what are we doing? One, we're engaging with our partners to make sure we understand where they're going and future-proofing the technology stack and our own internals within it as much as we possibly can. We're working with other customers to see how we can be more efficient with their existing architectures. There's other platforms out there that are very much focused on efficiency and sort of power and performance. And the honest truth is that in inference workloads, you don't necessarily need GPUs. You can use other technology to do that. And so I think there's that. It's like using the right technology at the right time. It's getting ahead of the power supply situation. It's working with your generator manufacturers to understand their needs. It's looking at battery storage technology as alternates to generation. On site, it's looking at SMR for nuclear solutions down the road when we are able to scale those out. And we're lucky to have a customer base that is very broad. So it's very easy for us to kind of engage with a very broad customer base to say, hey, how can we actually help solve these problems together? One as an industry, but also as sort of the Flexential ecosystem. Another thing we talk a bit here is just the networking challenge.